2 years ago, when I was on spring break in Cuba, I did a really stupid thing. I thought that while going snorkeling, my very white, very pale back would be safe from the sun's harmful rays if I put a single layer of spray sunscreen on it. Now, clearly, that was a very stupid, idiotic idea, because about an hour and a half later of searching the deep sea and loving every minute of it, I was cursing the day I was born as my back turned bright red and blisters started to form. So the next 2 days of the trip, the last 2 days of the trip, while my friends had their fun in the sun, I was contained to my bedroom in my little own cocoon of aloe vera, trying not to move on the bed. My only form of entertainment was a television set, an old television, that only had programming in Spanish. And at this point, I'd only taken 1 year of high school Spanish, so I knew the basics, the very, very basics, but I couldn't watch most of the programs. Fortunately, as I was flipping through, I landed on Disney's Cinderella, and I was like, awesome, I know the story well enough so that I can follow along by just kind of seeing the actions. I don't necessarily need all the words, you know? So I was sitting there watching it, though. I'm not sure if it was my feverish state or my lack of happiness from being stuck in the room, but I started to get really annoyed with everything I was seeing. I was thinking to myself, where's my fairy godmother? Why can't someone bippity boppity boo away my back sunburn? I don't need a Prince Charming, but if some hot dude would bring me an extra bottle of aloe vera, that would sure be helpful. Where were my dressmaking mice? Where was my transforming pumpkin? I mean, all these questions started to make me realize that Disney paints this fantastic world, but it's so unrealistic. And as I started to break apart the more basic issues that I had with the movie, I started to see more underlying problems. See, parents view Disney movies as the safe option for their kids. A lot of people think Disney is perfect. It shows, it teaches children how to follow their dreams and how to find true love. They think it's safe for their children to watch. But today I'm here to argue that Disney is not always the safe option for children and other viewers, because it especially is not safe due to its choice in gender stereotyping in beauty, its representation of gender stereotyping in mannerisms, and its portrayal of men and women in parental roles. So I'm going to start off by discussing the gender stereotyping that Disney portrays in beauty. Now, women in Disney movies are extremely petite. They always have small waists, perfect hair, and perfect makeup. People measured the princesses' waists, as you can see in these pictures here, and found that more often than not, their eyes were bigger than the entire circumference of their waist. Now, if you were to meet a woman in real life whose eyes were bigger than their waists, you would most likely be concerned for their health and well-being. It's an unrealistic standard that Disney is putting on children, especially little girls, in which they're told that they need to be something that is impossible. These women are also portrayed as full-breasted, tiny-waisted, most often pale-skinned. A study of 196 females, young females, published in the journal Child Development, it states that young girls that had worse body self-esteem were generally more engaged with Disney princess culture. They were unhappy with who they were because it wasn't who they saw as the epitome of beautiful. Beauty standards are not just for women, though. Men are also subject to this in Disney movies. All the leading men are strong, muscular, tall, like chiseled jaws. For some examples, let's look over here. We have Shang from Mulan. He's here. He has all the characteristics I just named, and he is the epitome of the leading man. Everybody wants to be him. The men want to be him. The women love him. But if you take a look at the next photo, the sidekicks, they're a range of fat, chubby, overly tall, overly short, weird features, strange nose. One even has a black eye. They're not conventionally attractive, therefore they've been reduced to sidekick level. Another example is Hercules, the strong, beautiful demigod, where his helper is a little half man, half goat the size of a rabbit. Another example, Gaston. Although he is not quality when it comes to his character, the movie still stresses how much of a manly man that Gaston really is. The women love him, the town loves him, and yet his sidekick, LeFou, is a short, fat man who's missing teeth. It's teaching children and other viewers that men that are strong and handsome are the ones that have the true power in the world. Another issue that Disney has is its gender stereotyping in mannerisms. Women, for example, they have a constant need to be saved. They're presented as docile, gentle, and although they're starting to make more relatable female characters that don't fit this mold, such as Merida and the characters of Frozen, the old ones are still popular and are still very prevalent in the minds of young women and men today. Women are always waiting for their prince to come. This is, one day my prince will come, but until then, I'll stay under the thumb of my abusive stepmother. This is so wrong to teach children that bad things will go away because a man will come and save you. No, you need to have and take charge of your own destiny. You can't put your life in the hands of a man who might never come. Men are also subject to these bad mannerisms. They're showed to have no emotion, such as Shang in Mulan. When he finds that his father is dead, he refuses to have more emotion than acknowledgement. He looks longingly at the helmet, but the second that Mulan tries to comfort him or anyone, he turns away and he says, "We must be strong. We're going to go fight the Huns. We're going to kill them. We're going to win." He can't show any weakness to his men. Men must save the women. They're constantly in pursuit of these women. They're saving them. They constantly have to be the saviors. They have to be the strong ones that are there to help. Men also must be tamed by women. The dwarves in Snow White couldn't keep a house clean. They weren't happy. They were messy, dirty, angry little men until Snow White came along and fixed them. Kristoff is literally described over and over again as a fixer-upper. He's smelly, he's weird, but it's okay because he has a woman now to come and change him and make him normal. Flynn Rider is an insecure ladies' man who won't even go by his real original name because he thinks it's too feminine, until Rapunzel explains to him that it's great and okay. The Beast is this horrible, beast, until a beautiful young gentle woman comes and teaches him how to use a spoon. He's civilized because a woman teaches him how to be. These are bad ways to teach children that they're pushing them into gender roles. Another issue that Disney has is that parents are, both women and men, parental figures are put into gender stereotypes as well. So many are dead. The Chicago Tribune says, "What does Disney have against dads and moms?" Okay, Ariel's mom is dead. Jasmine's mom is dead. Anna and Elsa's parents are both dead. Ariel, everybody is dead except for the few parents left over, and they're not prime examples of good parents. No, Triton